Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about supplements and how to choose good supplements and making good decisions when buying some. It's very difficult because the supplement industry is a very big one. There's a lot of choices out there, and it's quite a shady industry as well, because there's no regulation in the supplement market. So anyone can make a supplement, put something in the bottle, whether pills or powder, put a label on it, and go sell that. And no one's going to verify if the ingredients match the label, if there's any contaminants, any drugs added to it, or anything like that. So it's largely unregulated, and that's something you want to be aware of. There's reports coming out. One earlier this year in 2018 from Consumer Report that took over 100 different types of protein powder, analyzed them, and found heavy metals in them. Some of them contain arsenic, some of them contain lead, some of them contain mercury, and we're talking about very common, popular brands that people use a lot. Some of them that I used to trust myself in the past, and I was quite surprised to see those companies on that report. So that's another reason here to be very careful to choose the right supplements and the right companies when you buy your supplements. There was another report in 2017 that came out in the New York Times where they took mineral and herbal supplements off the shelf from Walmart, Walgreens, GNC, and analyzed the content of them. And in a lot of cases, what was in the supplement was not what was matching the label. A lot of times it was, for the most part, just fillers like rice flours and things like that that were making the bulk of the supplements. And if it was advertised to be some sort of herbal component, it was something like 10% of what was on the bottle that was actually in the supplement. So that's, a lot of shady stuff going on with that. So you just got to be really careful with what type of supplements you choose. And the best way to choose quality supplements is to use companies that use third-party testing for their product. So what that means is that those supplement companies have to pay money to a third-party agency that will analyze the product, making sure that what is in the product matches what's on the label, that there's no contaminants, whether it be heavy metals or performance-enhancing drugs, and they'll test for all that stuff. The main company that does that, the main agency that third-party tests supplements, is called NSF. It's a little blue dot like that. And then if the supplement companies are using NSF or a different agency to test their products, that seal will be on the supplement. Don't let supplement companies tell you that they third party test their product and there's no seal on their supplements. That is just to try and sell you what they have, and they're basically just lying to you. So the NSF certification is the main one. That's the one that all major sports trust, and they advertise to their athletes. So they make sure that their athletes are all taking supplements that are NSF certified in Major League Baseball and the NHL and the NFL, all the major sports. There's another very common certification called Informed Sports. It's a black rectangle with a green check mark on it, and that's another common one that third-party test products. There's BSCG and there's USP. The only thing with the USP, the last one I just mentioned, is that they don't test for performance-enhancing drugs. They only test for quality of ingredients and if the ingredients in the product match the label. So those are essentially the four main ones: NSF, Informed Sport, BSCG, and USP. The other thing to keep in mind when buying supplements, even if there is or isn't a third party seal of approval on the supplement, is choosing quality ingredients in your supplements. what I teach my clients and athletes oftentimes is with food is that you want to make sure that you're not eating foods that has a laundry list of ingredients on their label, and that it's not all sorts of weird name that you can't pronounce. So I would say the same rule kind of applies to supplements. You want to make sure that you're not taking a supplement that has a laundry list of ingredients. That's usually not a very good sign. And even something simple as a protein powder, just looking at how long the ingredient list is will tell you a lot about the quality of it. If there's a lot of ingredients in it, what that means is that they have to add a lot of stuff to change the flavor, the texture, the color, all those things to make their product really more appealing, but essentially it's not very good for you. I have one protein powder right here. I can show you the label. You look at the ingredient list right here at the bottom. There's a few here. This is nothing compared to what I've seen in other protein supplements where they have like just this long list of ingredients. So always something to be aware of. If you're buying any type of protein, pre-workout, BCA drinks, anything that's sweet that comes in a powder form, they'll likely use sweeteners, and most of the time they'll use artificial sweeteners. So that's sucralose, aspartame, isosulfame potassium, or ACE-K, and those are highly processed, not very good for your digestive system and your gut health. That can really affect the chemistry in your body. So you want to be aware of those fake sugar really when you consume a supplement. The better choices of sweeteners are stevia and monk fruit, and then if they use any type of concentrated cane sugar or coconut sugar or something like that in a very small amount. Obviously, you don't want too much of that. That's a better alternative. So on the same in the same going in the same direction here with protein powders, the type of protein that they use in a protein supplement matters also. The most common ones are milk concentrate, whey concentrate, whey isolate, whey hydrolysate, and casein. Of all those, whey isolate is definitely the highest quality one. One that has the less lactose for people who have a hard time digesting that. So another thing to consider, any type of supplements that uses milk concentrate is usually not very high quality. And then there's other things also in other supplements outside of protein that you want to be aware of. Any type of fillers that they use in their supplements, like rice flour or magnesium stearate, which is a very common fillers that people are not aware of. Is another thing that's important. And then the last thing on the ingredient side of things that I want to touch on is when you use a vitamin or mineral supplements and they use the salt form of nutrients. So anything that ends with carbonate, oxide, or sulfate are very low quality product. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. And the last thing I want to touch on is price. So a lot of times price, you just get what you pay for, essentially. So if you always try to shop for the cheapest supplement out there because you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, well, that will reflect the quality of the product. You know, the party will very unlikely be third-party tested. The quality of the ingredients that they're going to use is going to be very low and essentially just not a company I would trust personally. So I think there's something to be said for paying for quality supplements, because you want to know what you're putting in your body. It's important to put quality ingredients in your body. If you're not really sure exactly what you're putting in your body, you're taking guesses, and in the long run it could screw you big time. So definitely recommend taking that seriously, and considering that when a supplement companies charge you more for their product, it's not because they're trying to rip you off. A lot of times it's because they're using higher quality ingredients to make their supplements, but also because they're third party testing their products, which is something they have to pay out of their own pocket to do. So that's not government sponsored or anything like that. That's something that they definitely do out of their own pockets, and that will reflect the price of what they're trying to sell you. So hopefully this all makes sense. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, just hit me up, and hope you enjoyed, and please share the video if you liked it. If you think anybody in your circle would be interested, go ahead and share with them, and have a good one.